And we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Dalmascian Braves. I'm John, your game master for the evening, and this time, joining me audibly is William.
Hi, I'm William, and I'm playing Faustol Darkanan, the Garlean Gunbreaker.
And Elle.
Hi, my name is Elle, and I am playing Rowena Brown, the what is it good for? Midlander Dancer.
And Cody.
I'm Cody. I'm playing Naran Malagul, the Aura White Mage.
And Andrew.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be playing Mikoko Miko, the Lalafell Red Mage.
And Sam.
Hey, I'm Sam. I'm going last because I wasn't here last time, and Blount Tofskifson may know some things that I don't, but it turns out I dodged that bullet because y'all don't know what happened either.
Yeah. So last time on Final Fantasy XIV Dalmascian Braves, I fucked up and forgot to turn on the audio. So it doesn't exist.
We're all level 12 now.
I was drinking. Why was I drinking?
I don't know. That's how I kill.
Look,
and
you gotta rip that
like
Band-Aid
I
off
promised.
strong.
It's a real shame that we had to staple the top half of Naran to
We're back.
YouTube
Sorry
getting
about
right
that.
now?
YouTube fucked up that time. It wasn't me. Actually, no, YouTube didn't. OBS fucked up. The stream keeps going if OBS crashes. It keeps going for like, I think 3 minutes, something like that, before the stream actually ends. So if I get
That's not too
OBS
bad.
back up and started in time, it'll keep going.
Neat.
I'm just watching to check, and yeah, that's still going. All right, sweet. Anyways, like I was saying before, OBS rudely shut down for no reason. Yeah, we I fucked up last time, and in like for 2 hours of the stream there was no audio from anybody other than me.
I believe
Fortunately,
they call that pulling a Snoop Dogg.
Fortunately, we have no viewers, so it didn't matter. Or at least we have no live viewers. Most people watch this in the VODs. So sorry about that. Y'all didn't get that episode last week. So I will now do a handy recap. Last week, they fought a demon dragon. And on to this week.
Wait, where was the demon dragon?
It was beyond the portal I mentioned.
So last week they
Okay.
were the week before last week they were tasked basically with you don't have anything that we particularly want, so instead, if you do a thing for us, we'll give you some stuff, and also you can go, we'll guide you to where you need to go through our tunnels. So they agreed. And the goblins took them to a very evil-feeling statue in the back of the cave, specifically in the bit of the cave that Blount had been trying to explore on his own and found a cannon. They were let past the cannon and found a statue that was determined to be of Mahawkan origin. Mahawk being the city of dark mages, or city of black mages, from that was used to stand opposed to Amdapur, the city of white mages. It's a statue made of mahogany, made of stone. Inside this, upon investigating the statue, which had 2 spikes in its palms pointed up, they realized that one of them had to make a blood sacrifice to the statue to open a portal. Faust did. Inside, they found what one of you, I don't remember who, because you all kept fucking your wisdom saves. Or no, sorry, yeah, your wisdom or history.
It was Rowena.
Yeah. Rowena determined that it was the remnant. Oh no, it was a combination of Rowena and you. Rowena determined it was a Mahawken statue. You eventually learned from your soul crystal that what you were fighting was basically the remnants of a black mage that has fallen too far into the void.
Yeah.
And basically became the sort of void corrupted creature. After fighting it, you got your echo showed you a bit of its history and saw that it had been visited by an Ascian at some point, and from that interaction grew into this void-tainted creature. And you also found some magic items. You found a stick that shoots fire, some gloves that shoot fire, because black mages do one thing really well, and you found... What was the other? There was 3 items. There was the stick, the gloves, and
The red mage
I was
focus.
told there was a well.
the red mage
and
focus.
someone pointed out that I would definitely have fished something out of a well.
Yes, you fished a stick out of a well.
Was
Yep.
it the stick?
Yeah, it was a stick.
It was the stick.
Yeah, and then when you got back, the goblins gave you a goblin crafted identify-o-matic, which is a small technological device that will identify any magical device that you so choose. You can identify 1 item quickly per day, and the rest you can identify as a ritual, basically as casting. It lets you cast identify once per day, and it also lets you cast identify as a ritual however many times per day you want, but it takes ritual casting. We determined that it does this by the one good time is the one time it prints out the information that you're getting in common, and every other time it prints it out in Gobby speak, which is why it takes 10 minutes for you to decipher what it's saying.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
And then you identify after that you identified the you identified the
Tiefling.
The-
The tiefling. No, not tiefling. The Tonberry's knife.
You identified the battle chef field dresser. You identified the fireweaver gloves. You identified the flame breather staff. I think you also identified the container of heat and frost.
I think we had that last time.
Yeah, that was a bit ago.
Okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
and the only thing you haven't
That one we figured out without the thing.
the only thing you haven't identified yet is the wisp light lantern, because I didn't want to say Blount let you identify it without Sam being here to fight.
Yeah, no, I identify nothing. It's a lantern.
It's a magic lantern.
That may be. I haven't had to put oil in it yet, but it is in fact a lantern. Identify over.
Anyways. So, you bedded down for a long rest. And then you woke up. Welcome to the morning.
Wait, we fell asleep inside the statue?
No, you're in the
No,
you're
after
in the
No,
goblin
we
caves.
left.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're in the goblin caves.
Oh god,
Yeah.
we had to sleep in goblin caves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, if I remember correctly, I've attuned to the staff, field dresser, and the gloves. Or was somebody else
I
going to
think
use
you
the
gave the
gloves?
gloves to Rowena.
Ah, yeah, that's right. So just the staff and dagger.
And so yeah, as you finish attuning to the staff, which doesn't look like it looks like in that stick again, but you know, item descriptions.
Mhm.
So yeah, as you finish attuning to the staff, the sort of ruby red crystal that's embedded in the palm of this. As a reminder, again, the staff is a large, wooden staff that has this clawed hand at the top of it, gripping a red crystal. As you attune to it, that red crystal bursts and becomes this eternally burning flame at the top of it.
Neat.
Ooh.
Which means that in addition to all the other fire stuff it does, it acts as a torch permanently, as long as you got it out.
Wonderful. It's always out.
So you are
'Cause
permanently.
I don't have the armory.
30. I think is torch is still 2020 or is it 3030? I can never
I
remember.
think it's 2020. I'm checking.
Speaking of seeing things, is anyone else floating in the pitch blackness of the void?
Yes, you just have
Okay.
to go down a little bit to the right.
It's 2020, John.
Okay. If you still aren't seeing anything, then I recommend
No,
refreshing.
As soon as whoever moved my token, the cave appeared.
Okay. So, do you have anything that you want to do while you're taking your long rest, or are you ready to get up and at 'em and go?
Good to go.
I just realized I was muted. We did get the long rest completed, yeah?
Yes, you will get the long rest completed.
I'm
And
set.
then I think it's time for us to move.
Remember to reset your limit breaks.
And just as a slightly weird meta question, do the characters have memory of previous discussions, or does that need to be done over?
Do the players have memories of previous discussions?
I got the cliff notes of it earlier.
I remember some things that I said and did.
Your characters
Remember a bit.
remember anything that you remember.
Hopefully more.
I don't know what Elle's talking about, so I don't know what the question is.
I think they're referring to the conversation we had before we actually got settled into the long rest, while we were talking about magic items and Cartano and finding our soul crystals.
Yep.
Yes, the conversation that everyone had with around the events of Cartano, how they found the soul crystals, talking about Rowena and how she fits into the group, etc., etc.
Yes, you still remember that.
All right.
Unless any of you have spontaneously forgotten it, in which case that's on you.
No, never.
All right. I'm going to rename that.
We should leave this stomach. Or is it more of a kidney?
The smells that these food pots are making, this is the bowels.
So, you finish your long rest. You...
Speak with Scrap Shocks and ask for the directions to the tunnels.
Mm-hmm. Again, where are you heading? So Scrap Shocks is ready and waiting to lead you through the tunnels. He indicates that there are a couple of different locations that the tunnels can let you out at. They can let you out at the far end of the Western Sands, which is to say just south of the entrance just south of the western gate to Dalmasca. They can also go. It'll take a few days, but they can also go a little bit further and get you out in the Ester Sands, which is on the other side of Dalmasca. Which area would you like to get out of the tunnels at?
I believe we were headed east because we're trying to hunt down that laboratory and find things there.
Yeah.
Because we were on a mission sort of for Begamnon.
Yeah, to try and locate the lab of this scientist whose name I cannot remember right now.
Adair Nancast.
That's it.
Actually, a thought occurs. I remember that being on the border between Dalmasca and Doma.
Mm-hmm.
How far away is the border? Do we know that?
Yes. If you look at any of your map, if you look at the map or any of the maps that you have in game, hang on. It's Nalbina Fortress, I believe. Hang on.
I never got its name in my notes.
I thought I gave you a name.
You probably did. I just didn't write it down because I wasn't sure how to spell it.
That never stops me. I usually just butt into whoever's talking and demand spelling.
I know now that the party notes document is completely void.
Yeah, none of you have been using it. It's a shame, really.
I've been keeping my own notes.
Yeah, I write things down.
Yeah, Nalbina Fortress, which is now known as Castrum Amicitia.
No.
Though, yeah, Nalbina, which is... I don't actually know what that's supposed to say, but...
Why do you keep deleting my translation of your terrible map text?
because it's incorrect.
Then correct it, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't-
What do you want? There's a word on the map that I have no clue what it means.
Oh, it's Yangxia.
Of course.
Yeah, it's Yangxia.
Oh yeah, I can definitely see the N after the A before the X there.
I don't know. Might be. Who knows? Anyways, Nalbina is over in this area.
Hmm.
It's north of Volnane.
Yes,
Enough.
that would have to be Yangsha because that's the only thing. Like, because Yangsha is supposed to be somewhere around here.
Yeah, Yangxia is the border between Doma and Dalmasca, and that's where Nalbina is, basically.
I swear they picked this font intentionally to be frustrating.
You got to fantasy it up somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm only just noticing now that on the left-hand side of the map is like water and a ship. I thought it was just like a giant cliff that leads down into a valley.
Nope, that's the sea.
Just the perspective is weird.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yanxia. Yeah, that's Yangxia.
What was wrong with that one? It was right where the spot you clicked was. Oh, you wanted to spell it right.
Yeah.
Fine.
So yeah, Nalbina Fortress is just south of is basically on the Yangxian Dalmascan border. Because Yangxia is part of Doma, but it is the southern. It is like it sort of stretches south from the city, from the castle, basically. And this is where that sort of border area is. Nalbina is the border fortress that air quotes guarded Dalmasca from Doma. Not that they were ever really at fight, but yeah. So it's quite a ways away. On foot, at least.
I mean, especially if we're like over here, right?
Currently, you are over here.
Oh, I thought we were halfway between them and choosing to go either Wester Sands or Ester Sands.
No, you're in the Wester. You're under the Wester Sands right now.
Ah.
Yeah, because you had gone south into the Giza Plains, and then you had gone underground, and eventually exited out in the Wester Sands.
Okay.
And then you were going overlands from the Wester Sands towards Dalmasca when you ran into some goblins, and then went underground again.
I mean, it doesn't look so far. It's about 60 feet.
No, about 15
Giza.
from Geyser Plains to
Giza.
Plains.
I know what I did. Fine. No, I got it.
So how far is it
Pages and stars.
via goblin-esque tunnel?
So, via goblin tunnels will take you. It'll take you about 2 days to get to cross over to the Ester Sands. At which point you would then be crossing overland to get to Nalbina Fortress on foot. It would take about, depending on how quickly you move, somewhere in the realm of a week.
Are we going? Is that accurate mappage? Is that like swampish territory there?
No, that's grasslands.
Those are grasslands? I gotta zoom in more. Oh, those are... Alright.
Yes, those are artistic depictions of trees.
Well, no, those are buildings. Those are
Yeah.
I was referring to
Yeah.
the slightly off green spots.
Oh, yeah, those are trees.
Yeah.
And grasslands and
We
things.
should get a cleaner map. Maybe we can run this one through the washing machine or something.
Look, it's not meant to be looked at this close, okay?
I'm leaning away and squinting. I don't think it improves.
This is like a this is what they don't like to draw firm lines in Final Fantasy 14 because they want to give themselves space to build everything. So all the maps that they give you are artistic renditions of maps, not legit actual useful maps.
To be fair, they're pretty accurate to what a medieval setting that doesn't have like hyper advanced cartography would have for a map, which is to say this is the rough idea of what it looks like.
And
There be dragons.
if you'd left it as they don't like to draw, I would have just agreed.
Oh, they love to draw. Lots of things could draw. But yeah.
So we start tunneling, I guess.
Yeah, we're going east.
Can.
I mean... Right?
Well, so your option,
Yes, we are heading east.
Mold Earth.
At the moment, your options are you can go to Dalmasca if you wanted to do anything there, or you could just skip Dalmasca and go straight to the Ester Sands.
On our way to Nalbina Fortress.
On your way to Nalbina Fortress, yeah.
Just as a quick reminder, do we know how much it takes to rent a Chocobo?
You never asked.
Ooh. Wait, didn't we just,
Fair.
make friends with a sky pirate? Why aren't we breaking his ship out of Hawk and flying there?
That is an option.
Because we need his help to break ships out, and this was his task to getting his help.
Oh, fine. Okay.
Yeah,
I never said it was
Good.
a good option.
his plan is, tell you what, you go get me some fancy weapons that they're definitely making in this secret lab that they've got in Nalbina Fortress, and we'll help you get my ship back.
Alright, well, better start walking, I guess.
If nothing else, we could at least find out how much it costs to rent some bows.
So are we going to Dalmasca or further into the sands?
Do I know if, based on this level of occupation, would the Garleans even allow people to rent chocobos because that allows them to get further afield?
Chocobo Rentals are still fine and allowed because that's still ground-based transportation. The thing that they've got locked down is air-based transportation. That's military only.
Don't
Ground-based
jump too high in your
transportation is fine.
chocobo.
People are allowed to come in and out of Dalmasca. Trade is still going. It's just that it's regulated.
Oh, why don't we get paid for this trip? We could sign up, be some caravan guards.
Get a caravan guard job headed to Yanxia, and then just
Yeah.
like
And then just
break off at Nalbina.
bail. Yeah.
Doma is also an imperial province, so there is trade that happens between Dalmasca and Doma.
We can go scouting and then we're never seen again.
I mean, I kind of like it.
You could also potentially get hooked up with a caravan that goes to Valnain and then head north from there.
How far is Valnain?
Valnain is
a couple days.
Valnain is it's the same distance from Dalmasca that Nalbina Fortress is, but further south. So you'd end up being
So why would
you'd end up
why
being
would we
like
go to
another
Valnain, then?
you'd end up having to take like another day or two to get from Valnain to Nalbina.
Okay, yeah, that was my question: is how long
Yeah.
is it from Nalbina to Valnain?
Yeah. So it's like
We could do that. I mean, we haven't been to Valnain. That might be fun.
Yeah, Dalmasca to Valnain is the same distance as Dalmasca to Nalbina Fortress. But Valnain and Nalbina are closer to each other.
Yeah, it's a triangle.
And at least then we're not going to feel bad for skipping out on the actual job.
That's true. And we probably wouldn't get paid till the end anyway, so it would make sense to go to Valnain instead.
Yeah, and also going to Valnain tends to be what caravans tend to do. Not that any of you know this, but you'll find out if you ask about it. what caravans tend to do is they'll head over to the one river, which is this one right here, and then go.
Is that its name?
Yeah,
the one river.
The one river. Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Well, at least it's not. The
Actually,
two
no.
rivers.
Sorry, the one river's over here. This is actually.
Oh, you telling me there's a second river that's called the
this
one
is,
river?
This is the one river.
Mm.
This is the one river. This isn't. I don't actually know what the name of this river is. Now that I think about it.
The other
The
river.
other river.
The other
Yes.
river. There we go.
Yeah.
Officially, it's the other river now.
There's the one
That's
river,
nice.
and then there's the other river. That's it.
That's the
Encyclopedia Eorzea Technote.
The one river is called the one
Everything
river
else
because
is a
it goes-
tributary.
Yeah, look, the one river is called the one river because it's a giant fuck off river that goes all the way from those giant sigil mountains all the way to the coast.
Yeah. So like the one river starts here,
So this,
goes all the way down through. It goes all the way down through the mountains, the Azim Steppe, Doma, and then out into the Ruby Sea.
It does
So,
my heart good to
this-
see an alluvial floodplain on a fantasy map.
so just to compare, this is probably like the 0.25 river that we have to cross.
Yeah. So
Could be the Beta River.
So yeah,
Anyway.
you'd go over here. It probably does have a name. I just couldn't think of what it.
What? Yeah, it does have a name. We just named it. It's fine.
Yeah, it's called the Forgotten River.
It's officially the remembered river now. You're no longer allowed to be called the Forgotten. After you've had so many stories in this river, you're no longer allowed to be called the Forgotten River.
It doesn't fix the Forgotten Realms.
Exactly. That was the joke I was making.
I guess we could go to Dalmasca, ask about some chocobos, and see if we can link up with a caravan.
Yeah. Or if we link up with the caravan, maybe we just borrow their chocobos. But either way, yeah, Dalmasca.
And resupply, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pick up some stuff. I've only got a little bit of fish meat left.
Yes, I don't tend to do too well with a week without food.
Do you not have trail rations?
Why would I have food on me?
For eating.
Yes, and then it gets eaten.
Did you eat all your trail rations?
Yes?
Do you want to borrow some of mine?
No, it's fine.
Okay, well, I guess we should all restock in Dalmasca.
Right then, yeah, Dalmasca.
All right. So, and a much quicker journey. Hang on. I'm recentering the camera. In a much quicker journey.
We'll turn around in the tunnels and go back the other way.
The goblins lead you to one of their other exits that drops you off near to the western entrance of Dalmasca. After traveling for a little bit, they lead you up another set of ladders that gets you to a trapdoor cleverly hidden in a sand dune. And upon exiting, you find yourself standing basically just underneath a cliff. If you turn right and go and walk for 20 feet, you're almost right at the gates.
I give them an elaborate bow and promise that they'll always have me in their hearts.
They seem very excited about that. It doesn't seem like they've caught the wording.
Fair.
But you say goodbye to your Gobbiefrends. Your Gobbiefrends say goodbye to you. They shut the trapdoor.
I get before they shut the trap door, I hand one a bit of parchment that just has a recipe for basic stew.
They hand you back a recipe for their stew.
I thank them and I put it in my bag.
You now can put in your inventory a recipe for swamp tea. I think it's swamp
Awesome.
tea. Yeah.
I thought it was something rot.
Oh, rot tea. That was it. Rot tea.
Rot tea.
Yeah. You now have the recipe for rot tea.
You ever want to make a poison?
Yeah,
I'm gonna grab a I'm gonna buy a container inside, and it's gonna be my rot tin.
You
Thank you.
You do note that expired fish heads is on that recipe list, and there's not a quantity specified.
Container.
Oh, it's like salt. It's to taste.
Yeah. Seasoned to preference.
Yeah.
Wait, are these people just drinking big bowls of Worcestershire sauce?
Worse.
Worcestershire.
That's what I said.
But you are just a few steps away from the western entrance to Dalmasca.
And the hatch is closed and everything, yeah. Oh, thank God that's over.
We could call them back if you want. I'm sure they'd be right back.
For what purpose?
You seemed a little disappointed.
Foul little things. Ugh.
So who's going to get food? Who wants to check on chocobos?
I'm good on food. I should probably find a chocobo big enough to carry me.
I mean, I would probably be better served in investigating into our rides than trying to find which food would not kill people.
That is an astute observation. I agree.
I suppose I leave that to people more experienced.
So I'm going to go get food. Anybody want to come with?
I'll come along.
Blount and Rowena looking for chocobos. Mikoko?
Need to take care of some things. I'll catch up with you. Regroup at the Sandsea.
Yeah. That sounds good.
All right. So the group of you enter into Dalmasca through the western gates. You have your hunter's badges, so they let you back in. As you cross the central plaza of Dalmasca, so I'm going to head back to, or sorry, of I keep saying Dalmasca. Rabanaster is the city. You are getting into the city of Rabanaster. Where is my Rabanaster city map? Where? How have I? Oh, there it is. I was like, how have I misplaced this? There we go. So, as you cross the southern plaza, presumably, Faust and Narin are going to be heading to the Muthru Bazaar to find food supplies, which means that Rowena and Blount would be heading to... Would you be stopping in... So there are chocobo stalls in all three gate areas, the west, south, and east gate. Is there a particular area you'd be looking for chocobos, or are you actually going to be looking for work rather than chocobos?
I think it would make sense to try both, but like at the eastern gate.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's like the direction we're going to be heading from, that's probably where they're going to be stabling.
Yeah, they would naturally congregate at the exit going that way.
I mean, all right.
Marshalling, that's the word I thought, not stabling.
Yeah, so east or south, both are viable options for that. Southgate, you imagine that the difference is mostly like whether or not you'd be going to Valnain or directly to Nalbina. If you're going to Valnain, you'd probably end up heading out the Southgate. And if you were going to Nalbina direct, you'd probably be heading out the East Gate.
Well, I mean, if we're looking for a caravan going to Valnain,
Okay, yeah. South, probably.
All right. And Mikoko, which area would you be heading in?
Well, I would probably be going to the East End. I have some things I need to sell.
East End? All right. So, as you all cross through the Southern Plaza, but before breaking off, you do notice that there is a battalion of Garleans heading out the East Gate, heading towards the East Gate. It seems to be roughly a oh god, how is the Legion formation? They have specific numbers to their legions. Hang on. Garlean Legion sizes. Right, cohorts. Right. So it looks to be roughly a it looks to be roughly probably around 100 soldiers sort of marching, heading towards the East Gate. Faust, you very easily sort of pick out the individuals that seem to be in the command structure of it. You don't have names, obviously, but you see that one of them is looks to be a slightly older Garlean, wearing looser fitting clothes, with a chain gunblade on one hip and holding a Magitech staff, just sort of casually as he's on riding sort of next to them on a chocobo as they head towards the East Gate. This chocobo is very well decorated out. From the decorations, you imagine that they are that this individual is probably an officer of some sort. Also next to them is a much younger female Garlean, black hair, with similarly a Magitech staff, but much more heavily armored than he is, with a more standard gunblade. As the two of them are marshalling these troops out the East Gate. But you let them pass.
Yep.
And the split out, and you split out your separate ways. So we'll start with the folks heading to the South Gate. Rowena and Blount.
That's us.
You head out the South Gate. Go ahead and make me investigation checks, both of you.
I am really good at investigation. I am super duper good.
All right. So Blount, you get into a conversation with one of the you're trying to strike up information about people going out on caravans, and you end up actually striking up a conversation with an old man that's getting ready to head out for a fishing trip down to the river. The river that goes down, the river that goes down towards the port.
Not the other river, but there's another river besides the other river that's close.
It's the other river.
It's a branch of the other river.
Yeah, branch of the other river.
The other river.
Yeah. The other smaller river.
Oh man, we should go.
What are you
gonna catch?
The Nether River.
Oh well, there's a variety of rainbow fish that happen to come out through some of the smaller tributaries of the other river. If you you sit out there at an ice stump, just waste away a day waiting with your line out, and eventually you might catch something very special out there.
Is it spawning season for the rainbow fish already? Man, time's all messed up.
Well, most of them are heading out to sea. They spawn up in the mountains and then head south towards the Ruby Sea. And this is right about the time where you can catch yourself a good solid amount of them if you're looking.
I'm always looking. You kidding me?
Oh, and they make fantastic fish dinners. If you're, it's an interesting sort of amalgamation of tastes. Sort of not quite like salmon, but also not bassy. It's very, and he'll go on and on about it.
Oh yeah, we'll both go on and on about it.
Meanwhile, Rowena, you with 17 determined that Chocobo Rentals are fairly easily had. They are, like I said, they're not being regulated. They do have a fairly good stock of Chocobos here in Ravenastor that can be rented out. Let me pull up the information that I need for the rental of Chocobos.
It's $29 a day, and if you return it full, we don't have to charge you.
You pay the extra $1 insurance, you can basically run them into the ground.
Yeah, any ding larger than a nickel on the Chocobo, we're going to care about. But anything smaller than a nickel is fine.
Take 6 and sign up for a Chocobo Demolition Derby.
Oh.
All right.
What a...
So, if you were going to buy a Chocobo, it would be like buying a Chocobo outright would be. I'm trying to think of the numbers here.
You did this to yourself with the gil system.
I know, gil is a copper, which means 100 copper, 100 gil is 1 gold. So, calculator.
Remember, yeah, you did this.
Yeah. I remember asking for a price list for something the other day.
Yeah, the price
and
is...
the answer was, yeah, kinda, and then silence.
A price list exists. It changes. So it'd be 40,000 gil to buy a Chocobo outright.
Wanna go halvesies on a Chocobo?
You only buy half? Sorry,
Depends.
I'll get the right leg, you get the left leg.
Yeah, the breast or leg?
I'm a thigh man.
I can't even buy a quarter.
As for renting, you can rent a Chocobo wagon, which comes with a driver.
How many does the wagon fit?
A Chocobo wagon can comfortably seat 6 people.
Oh, so it's a 4-wheeled wagon, not a 2-wheeled?
It floats. It has no wheels.
What?
Yeah.
Of course.
I thought the Garleans were cracking down on air transport.
It doesn't float that high.
It just kind of hovers off the ground with very small balloons.
Yes. Chocobo carriage can comfortably seat about 6 people. And it will and that will cost you 3 gil a mile. So
a mile?
Yeah, 3 gil a mile.
So luckily we're only going about 60 feet. I measured.
Yeah, this is perfect.
So a trip to hang on. I'll try to think of the
I'll just jingle my coin purse near his ear.
This is why I established the custom ruler on my map screens.
Yeah, well, I don't have the patience for that. Also, this map wouldn't work with that because it's not an accurate depiction of the distance.
If only there was a custom ruler that would just display a random number.
Right?
It's 35 miles.
Oh, that's not so bad. That's what, 90 gil? 100 gil?
I don't know. It's barely a real measurement. I use kilometers like normal people.
What's a kilometer?
So it is about it's about 100 miles between it's about 100 miles between Rabanastre and Valnane.
Okay.
That's 300 gil. That's 300 gil to get there in the one trip, and that's assuming that if we find a job, they won't already have their own caravan.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So that's about a and so in carriage ride that does cut the travel down to about 3 days rather than a full week.
What, of walking?
Yeah, it'd be about a week to walk there, but with
So that was just
about 3 days.
That was just the carriage. What about separate chocobos? Now we're not talking sports models, but was that a gil a mile?
Yeah, we'll take the demonstrator model straight off the lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
not picky.
They don't in Rabanastre they don't rent individual chocobos because of the distances between towns. There's no guarantee they'll get them back, and they explain this to you.
Well,
that's
yeah,
why
Hertz doesn't care about getting their car back either. That's why there's a Hertz at the place you're going to.
Yeah, chocobos you don't just slap together in a factory.
I mean, not with that attitude.
You don't, but chocobos do.
Yeah, so they don't actually you can buy an individual chocobo or you can rent a chocobo carriage are the two options that you get here.
And really, when you're talking about chocobo porters and renters, they just they do a taxi service from one place to another. They don't let you get a chocobo that'll just go where you want.
Can't go off-roading in my sweet, sweet chocobo?
No.
I hung dice around its neck.
The chocobos are trained on their routes if you're renting one.
You chop them off at the knee so you can make a lowrider.
Yeah, in Eorzea you can do individual chocobo porters, but they are like as William says, they are very highly trained to go from one place to another and do not deviate.
I spent years breeding dachshunds and chocobos together to get a lowrider chocobo, and you're telling me I could just cut them off at the knee?
I mean, there are such a thing as lowrider chocobos. Like that's
they're for Lalafels.
Yeah, they're for Lalafels.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Do they come with their own hydraulics, or is that extra?
That would be extra. The hydraulic ones are the Magitech Reapers or Magic Reapers.
And they're a lot bigger and they're made out of metal, but they can fit anyone.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
300 gil for a one-way.
Correct.
Yeah. Not the greatest. We should probably look around and see if we can't find a caravan going that way. Maybe they have room we could ride on, or spare mounts.
Now, come on, darling. Is that really the best that you can do? I mean, I could make it worth your while. Just sort of go to rub a hand.
Make a persuasion check.
Can Blount assist by wiggling his eyebrows?
I have my inspiration.
Would you like to roll it with advantage?
I would.
Then there you go. You spend your inspiration and roll it with advantage. Yeah, Lanosian chocobo are the small ones that are bred for Lalafels. And then Abalathian chocobos are the large ones that are bred for Rogadin.
There we go. Gonna find me a big bird.
Yeah, Abalathians are big.
I think they're on like Sesame Street.
Abalathians are huge-sized chocobos.
I'm pretty sure that's Big Bird's cousin. Abalathio.
And then there are Bajan chocobos that are red and drop meteors on you for some reason.
Dalmascian red chocobos, specifically.
Sorry, Big Bird's cousin is Abelardo.
Is that the green one or the orange one?
It's the green one with the red face.
Dalmascian red chocobos are big and fuck you up.
So, with a +6, that's a 12.
All right. So, Question: do you actually try to haggle, or are you trying to seduce?
Little column A, little column B.
All right.
I'm going for haggling via seduction.
All right. So, you quickly learn through your attempts to haggle that this particular individual is asexual and they do not appreciate your advances. They raise the price to 4 gil a mile.
Yeah, that tracks.
I treat persuasion rolls as a little bit of luck and a little bit of skill. So it's like, do you get the kind of person that this particular roll would be effective on? Yay or no? All right.
Fair. Oh, well, information in hand, I guess we'll try looking around for caravans that are heading out in that direction, but we can take a little bit if you want to go to someone else.
Yeah, so while you continue to look around and see if you can get any other information, while Blount continues to be regaled at the wonders of the rainbow fish.
They taste great.
They taste great. They're so useful. They're useful in just about everything. The weird
you can
thing...
squeeze the oil out of them to make chapstick.
Now, the weird thing is that occasionally you'll get one that's eaten a few strange things, and a lot of them seem to have very fine sand in their stomach, which is a joke that only Final Fantasy XIV crafters will get. So, moving on to Naren and Faust. So, Naren and Faust, you hit the Mutru Bazaar. As always, it is packed with individuals, roaming from stall to stall with a variety of things. There is also the clan provisioner. That is the why can't I think? The Centurio clan provisioner in Mutru Bazaar. If you'd like to check out what items they might have for sale, specifically for clan individuals.
Yeah, I'll stop in there before we see if they got anything exotic.
All right. They have changed over their products since the last time that you were here. Let me just pull up my list here. All right. So they do still have one remedy. Let's see. Yeah, so they still have one remedy, if that's of interest. They have... they have some gold needles, which are fairly rare. They have a Princess Kiss available. They have some onion arrows. And they have some Bacchus Wine.
This Bacchus Wine.
Bacchus Wine will basically inflict a barbarian rage on someone. But they take exhaustion when it ends. They take a level of exhaustion when it ends.
How much for that?
Let's see. The Bacchus's wine is 120 gil. They have 3 bottles of it.
They have no bottles of it.
So yeah, it's an action to drink it. They're one use each. When you drink it, you go into a rage like a barbarian. When the rage ends, you get a level of exhaustion.
Right.
It does not go away until you take a long rest.
Most things I drink are one use.
Yeah.
So aside from that, they still have 4 gold needles, 2 princess kisses, and 1 remedy.
Do we know what a golden needle does? Or Princess Kiss? I don't remember.
They'll tell you. A gold needle.
Yeah.
A gold needle will give you a successful Constitution save against a petrification effect. 1 per.
Okay.
And no, go ahead.
I just said okay.
Yeah. So a gold needle, and if someone is already petrified, a gold needle will let them make their resistance checks again.
Okay.
So if you're in the middle of being petrified, it's a success. If you are already petrified, you can make the checks again. And a Prince's Kiss, very specifically, unfrogs you.
Seems like a very specific ailment.
If you get turned into a frog, it will unfrog
Well,
you.
we are gonna be near that swamp. Maybe that's a big deal out there.
Those are grasslands and plains. How much for the remedy?
Remedy is 400 gil. It cures literally anything. It's a greater restoration.
All right. I'll grab that as well.
Yeah, it's a greater restoration in a bottle.
Definitely helps, seeing as how I don't have access to that yet.
All right.
Do you
good.
have any ideas for anything? And is there anything you saw think we might need?
Aside from that remedy, nothing here is of particular note.
All right. And you can get food supplies as well while you're here in the bazaar.
Anything exotic or weird?
Nothing exotic that they have on sale at the moment. You get the idea that basically the clan provisioner is the one that's going to have the weird stuff for you.
Yeah.
I was just reading over the warrior to see if they get to rage like a barbarian, and no, they get to rage like a shitty barbarian.
What's different about their rage? I don't actually remember.
Their rage only reduces damage they take by half their con mod.
Jeez.
And they also don't get unlimited rages at level 20.
Well,
they just regain 2 rages if they're out when they roll initiative.
Oh, so they're playing by monk's rules, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. As far as food and drink and the like, you can get. So what level of rations are you looking to get? You can get at the moment you can get squalid rations, poor rations, modest rations, or comfortable rations. Comfortable rations.
Oh, also, I'm sorry. Continue on. I was just gonna note the other way that the rage sucks.
Comfortable rations are 200 gil a day.
200 gil a day.
200 gil a day for comfortable rations.
All right.
As an aside,
and that's enough. That's enough for all of you.
I just spent 760 gil. Oh, so it's 200 for all of us.
Yeah, 200 for enough to feed all of you for 1 day.
1 day. Okay. I'll go for.
Ooh.
So that would be comfortable rations. Modest rations would be enough to feed all of you for 1 day would be 100 gil. Poor rations to feed all of you would be 20 gil. And
I'm assuming
squalid is 10 gil.
Okay. I'm assuming the rations that we get from that we got from background stuff were modest rations.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, I'll buy another 10 days worth of comfortable rations.
Okay.
I thought they all aged into dust or something.
Only if you hold on to them. Oh wait, yeah, no.
Didn't we get replacements?
Yeah, you get replacements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. The Warrior's Berserk is even worse. For a number of rounds equal to 5 minus your Constitution modifier after your Berserk state ends, you may not use the extra attack ability, and your base movement speed is halved due to fatigue.
Good.
Apparently, the developers just hated Barbarian Rage.
Good lord. I have
And
a
felt
feeling
it
they
needed
didn't
lots
like
of
martials.
nerfs.
They didn't like martials at all.
That's 2,000 gil, right?
For 10 days? Yeah, that would be 2,000 gil.
Yeah. All right. I'm down to 3,500 gil now.
Make sure you mark the difference between any like comfortable versus modest rations you might have, because
Yep,
they do
I
have
did.
different effects when you use them.
Yep.
All right. Anything else that you guys are getting in the Muthru Bazaar?
I get a fishing pole.
Sure.
I have one.
That's yours.
It is mine.
I'll get a fishing pole. And even though I can't actually, yeah, I'll get a sling as well
Ooh.
if I can find one.
Yeah, you can find a sling. Easy.
Sling, fishing pole, and I can find rocks.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a long walk, so I'll have plenty of time to find bullets.
So yeah, fishing tackle. Good fishing tackle is 100 gil.
Okay.
Shitty fishing tackle you can get for 50.
I will pay for quality.
Okay. As for a sling, that's not very expensive at all.
I think it's like 10 gil, no, 100 gil, because it's the
No,
gold.
it's 10 gil. It's 1 silver.
10 gil?
A
Okay.
sling is 1 silver.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's a well-made strap of leather. A dart is 5 gil. All right. Are you getting anything while you're there, Faust?
We got enough rations for how many days?
10 days.
10 days.
10 days?
Well, we got enough comfortable rations. I have other rations as well already.
Mhm. And we have the knife to cook food if we need to kill things and get food for it.
Correct.
I don't think I have the gil to buy anything useful right now other than food, so
Well, we can always go check. I have gil too. Keeping all of you equipped will help keep each other alive.
yeah, I don't think there's any way that we have. I mean, unless all of us pooled our gil together, I doubt there's any way to get me any heavy armor.
Yeah, I've got that 7 grand.
We got 3
What's your current armor class,
and
Faust?
change.
18 counting my
No,
shield.
sorry, what's your current armor type? Sorry, your actual, what the name of your armor?
Oh, it is scale mail, which is medium technically.
So ring mail, which is heavy. So sorry, no, plus your shield, you want to get at least chain mail.
Yeah, we can stop by the armory and look.
77. That would be 7,500 gil.
Yeah, I'd be looking for at least, because I'm wearing scale mail, I'd be looking for at least half plate if we're staying in medium armor, or splint.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can afford splint mail.
I can't afford splint. I definitely can't afford half plate.
Yeah, splint is
Mhm.
20,000 gil.
Oy.
That's the thing that is the thing that I like about using gil as a copper system rather than a gold system, because it gives you a better sense of like what money is worth. Well,
Does it?
this is like, yeah, because in normal settings you're like, oh, this is 5 gold, that's nothing, but like to a peasant in a D&D setting, 5 gold could be several years.
2 months of work.
Well, no, a year's worth of work or more. Like, it could be a lot of that's a lot of money for a peasant in a D&D setting.
And then don't even get me started on trying to get a suit of plate,
Which is expensive even for adventurers.
which is 150,000 gil.
All right. So, moving on to Mikoko. Mikoko.
We'll head to Panamisa's place.
All right, you head to Panamisa's Protectives. Panamis, this, I believe Panamis I described as a Sikh. Is standing behind the counter.
So Mikoko will just march right up to the counter and then forget that the thing that she wants to talk about is actually in her pack. So she just... sorry, 1 second. Heaves off the pack, sets it down, rummages through for a minute or so, and pulls out the set of leather armor that she fixed up and no longer needs.
The large boar-like individual sitting behind the counter and leans over and looks down at it. Hey, what can I do you for?
How much can I get for this? And she holds up the armor.
Picks it up and looks at it. Seen a lot of use this has.
But it's well cared for.
Well cared for, yes, but he sort of fingers at some of the patches that have been fixed up. A little bit old.
Yes, it is. I've been using it for quite a while.
Well, make a. Are you? Well, he'll give you his price, and we'll see what you want to do with it. I can give you 500 gil for this. I can at least use the leather to repurpose something into something else.
She fidgets for a moment and all right, that works.
Nods, pulls the leather out, puts it behind the counter, reaches down underneath. You hear a little bit of a clink, 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 clink sound as he's sort of like gathering, scooping up a handful of gil, putting it into a bag. Stands back up, pulls the strap of the bag closed, hands it down to you. Now, were you looking for anything special other than just to sell the leathers?
Oh, not right now, I think.
Oh,
maybe another time.
You seem the adventuring sort. If you ever need anything for protection, come on back.
Should be good for now. And she flicks the hem of her cloak to accompany her statement, and there's a faint glint of her mage armor.
He just sort of smiles a little bit. And then we'll see you again at another time.
Right. Thank you.
He nods.
She will sling her pack back on her back and head for the Sandsea.
All right. So, Blount and Rowena. You discover there are 2 caravans heading out. One already has guards. So they're not hiring anybody new. The other would like some additional guards. But it is carrying Garlean VIPs.
That's fine. I don't care.
You have a Garlean among your number.
Not an issue, I'm sure.
Yeah. I think this works out. So, do you guys provide mounts, or?
They indicate that any guards that would be coming with them would be walking alongside.
Okay. What's the pay scale?
Looks like they are paying. Go ahead and give me both of you either both of you can give me one, or one of you can give me one at advantage. Persuasion check to see how well you sell yourselves as guards.
What would you like?
I mean, I'm terrible at both.
So I'll just roll with advantage then.
Yeah.
23. All right.
I can stand around and look big. I'm very good at standing around and looking big.
And I know how to talk shit.
So yeah, they'd be willing to pay you 200 gil a day.
Okay. And if we're walking, it'll take about,
And
what, 7 days?
That's per, yeah.
You know, I almost have no problem with agreeing to this right now.
Do we get a bonus for, like commission? Maybe a bonus per bandit head? Or successful attack fended off? That sort of thing.
Hazard pay.
The 200 gil is the hazard pay. You're being hired to be guards.
But a bonus if everyone arrives intact and, there were no problems.
I feel like you would probably see a deduction if the people didn't arrive intact.
Yeah. It's not a. It's less a do your job and get more, and more a do your job poorly and get less situation.
I mean, is there a chart for that? It's like if someone's missing an arm, is that 50 gil off? Or
yeah. Like I definitely have a budget I'm willing to allot for people who are rude to me. So
I mean, you said these were Galleon VIPs, so if someone's not going to make it to the entire trip intact, I feel like the guards are going to get fired or worse.
The caravan. Well, the caravan leader that you're talking to is this sort of is this fairly well built Rogadin, Hell's Guard, red skin.
Oh, a ghost puncher. No wonder we're not getting anywhere.
Who introduced himself as inevitable erosion. Sort of as like leaning on a wall while he's talking to you. He's like, now look. Personally, I feel like a job well done deserves a bonus, but the bosses are basically under the impression that you get paid if you do your job right, and if you don't do your job right, he sort of makes the neck slicing motion, and also then sort of points over towards a group of Garlean soldiers that are sort of standing around a merchant, sort of very, very very obviously shaking him down and not giving a shit that they're doing it in public. And he goes,
well,
the folks that run the place get to make the rules, unfortunately.
No bonus is fine, but we'll keep anything off the people we kill. How about that?
Fine by me. I'm not going to tell them otherwise.
I look at Rowena. We, deal?
I believe so.
Deal.
All right. Well, our VIPs are going to be arriving in about an hour and a half. So if you got others to come in with you, you better go fetch them.
Where are we marshalling?
We'll be heading out the south gate. So meet us there by the stables. Got a couple of caravans we're picking up with them.
Sounds good. See you then.
All right.
And we'll head off to the Sensei.
All right.
I think that went well.
Oh yes, everyone will be so happy we've got some work.
We're getting paid to do the thing we were going to have to do anyway. I think that's fantastic.
No.
And now they don't have to know that I was going to charge them 500 gil for a chocobo.
So you head back to the Sensei. You all reconvene.
Any Moogle mail on the way?
That's what I forgot to ask about.
I really should buy some paper.
No, there's no Moogle Mill yet.
Cool.
What was that you wanted to ask about, Cody?
I said I forgot to ask about. That was something I wanted to ask about as well. Was the Moogle Mill.
Whether or not you had any Moogle Mail?
Yeah.
No, you do not. Are you waiting for
All right.
Moogle Mail?
No. I don't think so. I can't remember. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've talked to any Moogles.
You're just like, I'm really hoping I'll get a package at some point.
Hey, you never know.
Didn't Rowena send out a letter?
Get drunk and...
Yeah, Rowena sent out a letter.
Not that anyone else knew.
Not that anyone else knew.
No, but, out of character, I know things.
Yeah, fair. Again, it's been a hot minute, so...
I do
got
like...
drunk off of Bacchus's wine and just ordered a shit ton of stuff off of the Final Fantasy equivalent of Amazon.
I do.
If only I could find a list of the Final Fantasy equivalent of Amazon, I would love to order things.
I do like the idea that Naren is just like eternally optimistic that he'll receive a package from somebody. No idea why.
Yeah,
just is.
Just walks up to a Moogle. Hey, anything for me? Who are you? Never mind.
Koopa?
Just passes by a Moogle every once in a while, raises an eyebrow. The Moogle just doesn't care.
Final Fantasy version of Amazon is the Mog Station.
Yeah. All right.
Amog is on.
So yeah, you meet back at the Sensei.
All right.
Good news, everyone.
Why do I feel like it's anything but?
Well, no, we have secured passage as guards. We're getting paid to do the trip that we were planning to do anyway.
$200
Please.
a day.
What's a
Who are
buck?
we guarding?
Oh, some VIPs. I wasn't really paying attention.
They're headed to the same city we're going to.
They're headed to Valnain.
Whoever goes there. Yeah, they're going to Valnain, so VIPs to Valnain.
See? Easy money.
What kind of VIPs?
The important kind that we don't have to talk to.
It's true. They're not going to talk to us. We're guards.
Faust raises an eyebrow. You didn't get the details of the job you were taking on.
They didn't offer a lot of details, if we're honest.
And yes, we did. It's 200 gil a day.
Oh, and no bonus at the end, but we do get to keep anything that we kill. So that's pretty good.
Details such as who you're guarding, why they're traveling, reasons that are potentially important for our people in our situation.
Well, it was either that or 500 gil for a Chocobo caravan.
Which is something that can be afforded.
Yeah, but in reality, that's more like 1,900 for a Chocobo caravan, because we'd be losing out on the 1,400 we'd get paid.
For guarding someone that we apparently don't know who they are or what they are doing?
Do you plan to get involved in their business?
No, but if you haven't, no, you have obviously forgotten or just weren't paying attention. We're not exactly in the best of situations with the local government. And if they are VIPs of the local government, that presents a problem.
Well, I can't see many problems with this, so I don't see your point.
Mikoko raises one arm and points directly at where Faust's third eye would be.
Ah, would be.
If it
It's
were
currently
covered by something.
Yeah, it's currently covered by a circlet.
And then she raises both eyebrows at Rowena.
Yes, it's very nice. Look, we have a job.
Faust pinches the bridge of his nose.
Look, you want me to help? I'm helping.
I think you did a good job. I think we did a good job.
See, thank you. And yes, we did.
It would have been nice if we could have got a little bit higher wages, but, they seem to be unmoving. Something about Garlean soldiers shaking down a shopkeep. He made an eye gesture I didn't really get.
There's a barrel cocking noise as Faust's gunblade just rotates.
Did you hear something?
You took on a guard escort job
Yes.
for the Garlean Empire.
Theoretically, maybe.
I suppose, yes, if they're
For
VIPs. of the local
Garlean
government.
VIPs.
That does make sense, yes.
I mean, who else is going to be a VIP, I guess, when you think about it, huh?
Really, you should have expected this.
Oh my god.
And really, they're not going to be looking for us so close, right?
Mikoko, I'm not sure if I
own
have the
guards.
words to explain exactly why me being part of a guard position with Garlean VIPs is a problem to these two.
Do you not think you can guard them? I mean, I
Look,
guess
you're
I could
very-
pull your weight, but
Yes, you are
I think
very
you
impressive
could.
physically, but if this is a concern...
Mikoko stands up on her chair so that she's at some degree of head height to both Rowena and Blount.
well, it's Rowena,
And,
sure.
and just holds out both hands, beckons them forward. Come on, scooch closer, please.
I will obligingly lean forward.
Sorry, what? I lean in.
And then she claps them both upside the head. And then grabs onto their hair and whispers, "He is a wanted man in the Garlean Empire. He was a legatus of the Black Wolf. It's bad when he defects. We get it?
Watch it. I mean,
Who
that's...
even knows? Who
It's
even
ha-
knows? It doesn't.
That's hardly
No
my
one knows
fault.
it's him.
That's not relevant. What matters is that the Empire knows him." Then she lets go.
Yeah. Oh.
Really strong hands.
Don't you dare do anything weird with that hair.
Blunt is tragically trying to fix his bouffant. Or sorry, not his bouffant. Yeah, he has a bouffant now. You've messed it up so much, his pompadour turned into a bouffant.
The greatest tragedy.
And then Mikoko just looks at Faust and says, "I hope I've made my point clear to them." Or our point.
I hope so too, but I don't know if they're actually capable of comprehending what you said.
I don't think it's a problem. You wear a thing on your head anyway. No one knows. I mean, who knows you on site? Honestly, who knows you?
Plus, we've already dealt with some
As you
wolves.
say, who knows you on site? You hear Vaughn walking past, going, "Oh, hey, Faust."
We could worse. We could get you a helmet that would completely
wait.
obscure your face.
Shouldn't you have a helmet anyway?
You told them that. Did you tell them that we would definitely do it, or that we would think you had to talk to us and we'd think about it?
Well, it was such a good deal that, they were on a time limit and all.
I don't know why I asked.
We have like an hour and a half. We should probably be there early, so we probably have about like an hour, maybe 45 until we should get down.
We really should be hurrying as it is already.
My armor is old and of a style that is not necessarily in the greatest of upkeep, but it is still distinctly Garlean. There's not a lot of hiding it.
There is a.
Weren't you complaining about your armor earlier? Don't we need to get you some new one anyway?
There is a soft.
Get a robe to throw
there is
over.
a soft coughing from behind the group of you. So,
It's the VIPs.
I look over my shoulder.
no, it's Delita. Sounds like y'all have.
Hello,
Sounds
Delita.
like y'all have a problem.
Yes. A problem of these two not being able to consider the dangers of the rest of our group.
I'm sorry. How long have we been in this city and you've not been scared about walking around, going to markets and buying fish or whatever?
There's a difference between walking past Garleans and actively working as their guards.
Yes, but it comes to a point that, death is bad, but we have to get it out there sometimes.
It's about the armor, isn't it? Delita says, pointing
Yes.
at your armor.
And the fact that if any of them recognizes my face, I am a highly wanted individual.
Honestly, your face is not that recognizable.
He looks at it. If you're willing to part with it permanently, I do have a use for that armor. And I could get you something to replace it with.
As long as it will hold up as well in combat.
Roughly the same. Maybe a little bit lighter.
Fair enough.
How do you feel about sublagars?
As long as it does the job.
Come with me. So mechanically, William, you'll be changing your armor out for a breastplate.
Cool.
Which is the
I lose the disadvantage on stealth.
Yeah, it loses the disadvantage on stealth because it's lighter. But it's the same like AC pit level.
Yeah.
So Delita takes you basically out of the Sand Sea, over to Panamisa's protectives. And basically goes around behind and talks to Panamis for a few minutes. Panamis looks over at you, looks you up and down. I mean, I think it'll fit, but are you sure? I mean, it's kind of an emergency. They got like an hour, so I figured the armor might go a little bit of a way towards helping you with your problem, and in exchange, you give him something. Looks over, straightens up. Again, this is a Sikh, so they're not the tallest individuals as far as especially when you compare to like Rogadine and the rest, but still fairly large, boar-like individual. All right, big guy, let's step you into a dressing room, see how it fits.
Follow behind.
They take your
Tailored armor.
They take your Garlean armor and provide you with what is referred to as a Dalmascian gladiator's raiment. It is.
Is it basically the gladiator gear from Heavensward?
Yes.
Yeah. So not
well,
all.
It's the
very...
it's the gladiator's gear from Halatali. I think it's from
the gladiator's subligar and the gladiator's breastplate that is basically like literally like Roman gladiator armor in that it covers none of your abs or legs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably he has regular clothing to wear under his armor, so he'll probably just have like an arming doublet underneath.
Yeah, you can wear other clothing if you like.
He's not going the full like ab crusader of the way that breastplate wears in game.
Coward. Understandable, but coward.
I was going to offer to at least make you pants.
So for the others,
Yeah, he'll wear breeches and like a doublet or a what's the name that I'm looking for? I have one of these. It's not a doublet. It's a
Gambison.
Gambison underneath it.
It's the Colosseum War set specifically. So for those that are not familiar with what we're talking about, that, and I will show it off to the audience as well. That.
That's not a downgrade.
I would
That's a
wear that in the
side
battle.
grade. Well, it's so multi-purpose. You wouldn't have to just wear it into battle. You could wear that other places.
I think
the
that's
beach.
a very rare example of both styles having the same amount of metal.
In Final Fantasy XIV, they are very, very equal opportunity when it comes to skimpy outfits. Everyone gets them. Yeah, no. Where in that particular one, where the female version has extra armor on top, the male version has extra armor on bottom. Man,
Are they wearing their greaves on backwards?
no, they're just designed that way. They're designed to protect the calf more than the shin.
Everyone's got an Achilles heel.
So after
Shame
about
the armor doesn't cover that.
after about 30 minutes, Faust comes walking back in wearing that.
With an actual Gambison and breeches underneath rather than just skin.
Yeah, but the skin's under there too, and we can all tell.
Really,
See,
everyone's
that-
naked underneath their clothes.
Very stylish. I approve.
Very sleek, I think is the word.
And I have gotten a helmet to go with.
Yes, you could have gotten a helmet as well.
Oh, what does a helmet look like in that style?
I'm thinking it's very much the Spartan helmet where it's like that very curved thing that just has like the one vertical slit for the face.
That's goggles.
Hang
It's a
on.
pair of swim goggles.
Give me a second, and I'll tell you what they have for you in helmet as far as helmets go.
It's a feathered set of goggles, just
Yeah.
off the sides.
What, like a Mr.
Oh,
Red
you didn't
Dust?
get the cape that goes with it. The giant feather boa.
No, Elton John's currently using them.
If there's one person who deserves to use them, it's Elton John.
You actually they gave you a minted imperial pot helm, just painted different colors. Which would be the helmet on that set.
That's pretty good.
It'll do. Just painted silver.
Yeah, painted silver.
Like you're in a high school musical.
It looks very
No,
interesting.
just my high school?
Just have Faust with this crammed on his head. I can't wait to see what you do with your mini for this, William. As the old armor's gone now.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Do you still have that big shield? Or is it just
yes, still have the shield and
You
sword.
still have the big gun shield and
Okay.
the big gun blade. Which definitely look out of place now.
Probably cut some holes in your shield just to match it up.
Paint it, maybe.
Yeah, I probably just paint it silver.
All right. So, you having had Faust re-armored appropriately to stand out significantly less, the group of you, Delita just sort of pats you on the shoulder. You look good. Good luck out there. Where are you guys heading, by the way?
To the south gate.
Valnane.
What for?
So that we can then head north to what is the name of this place? I can't see the map.
Nalbina
Nalbina
Fortress.
Fortress.
Nalbina.
So we can then head north to the Nalbina Fortress.
What are you heading out there for? Plan to head over to
Retrieve some things for a friend to help us deal with the situation at the aerodrome.
Interesting. Might be able to get a few. Might be able to get a bit of silent activity happening out there in a bit then. If you all are heading that way. Just keep an ear out for anybody mentioning whether the wild rose blooms.
I know the code phrase.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get you some backup out there. Anyways, enjoy the trip. Try not to kill your VIPs.
Why would we kill our VIPs? We would be
he-
terrible guards.
he
we
looks-
wouldn't get paid at all.
He looks at Faust and then looks back at you. No reason.
They don't get
That's
it.
the same.
They don't get it.
No reason. And he just walks off.
I don't know if they ever will get it.
Oh, we really should hurry if we're going to make this on time.
All right.
Let's go.
Then let's go.
You head south. You head to the south. You head to the south gate. Meet up with inevitable erosion. And there are a few other guards on this on this that seem similarly hired hands like you. You end up being roughly a squad of about 10 total. The others all seem to be Dalmascians that have been looking for work and are fairly sturdy. They don't seem to be as trained as the group of you are, sans Rowena. But
I was going to say mismatched.
well, no, their shirts and pants do match, but they don't seem to be quite as skilled as the rest of you. But they're there, and then you see a contingent of 10 Garlean troopers marching down towards the caravans, escorting one individual that... Hang on one second. Escorting a pair of individuals. One stands at a little bit taller than Blount.
Whoa! Blount's 7'1".
Wearing long, sleek, reinforced Garlean officer armor, with a tall helmet that has sort of like spiked metal horns coming out and arcing back. They carry with them a long, double-bladed. It looks like it at one point was a spear, but the blades have now been augmented with magitech to include a set of spinning chain teeth on each one.
Well,
A
that's
long,
fun.
flowing cloak that just sort of rides behind them as they approach one of the caravans that have been specially prepared. You notice that rather than a standard Chocobo caravan, what you've got here actually seems to be sort of a large, boxy vehicle with a pair of round, glowing, like sort of a round blue crystalline spheres attached at the left and right hand sides at both the front and the back, so it's 4 total. With like a sort of a driver's cab in the front. The individual looks over the group of you and the gathered guards. Go ahead and give me a deception roll with advantage, Faust.
If they question me, I have my fake Garlean name, so I can deal with that too. So
You're just gonna see somebody and go, "Fuck you!"
13.
All right. Well, they don't have a. Let's see.
I just remembered it's now. Okay, cool. Rowena forgot what the fake name is, but has put extra effort into learning Faust.
Oh dear.
The individual looks over the group of you, doesn't seem to hesitate at all on anyone. Well, she says, this feminine voice coming slightly modulated from the helmet. It's good to see such a collection of fine, upstanding Dalmascian citizens looking to put their best foot forward in service to the Empire. I trust you all to keep me safe, as well as my assistant. She says, indicating there is another individual walking up behind her. This one, this one is not as tall as the first, but not as tall as the first, but is definitely well built. In many ways, reminds you of Faust, as of like physicality wise. Has that sort of well built tank like demeanor, broad shoulder, tall, well muscled. Black hair rather than white, rather than the Garlean white. Though you do see the very clear third eye in the middle of the forehead. Wearing black and sort of a black, gold, and red trimmed armor, with a long black coat flowing behind him, sort of and around. And on his back, you see a what appears to be a gun glaive, this long pole arm with a mechanical aspect attached to the tip of it. Which just sort of like very calmly and looks out, very, very well assured of himself, looks out amongst the rest of you and just sort of nods. I'm sure you'll keep the both of us, quite safe and comfortable on our journey. I look forward to our travels together. And the two of them climb into the back of the Magitech vehicle, which almost immediately kicks on, and you see those blue glowing orbs, or those blue crystal orbs, begin to glow as the entire thing lifts off the ground as this Magitech hover truck begins to move. There is a second one that sort of pulls up behind that the rest of the Garlean troop enter into. And then there is the 10 of you walking alongside, being led by a much smaller Chocobo convoy, Chocobo carriage that seems to be loaded down with supplies. That is what Inevitable Erosion is driving. So there are 3 vehicles total. There's the 2 Magitech tracks, one loaded with about 10 Garlean troopers, and the other with the 2 VIPs, and then the Chocobo carriage that is carrying supplies and materials. And also, behind you, you all notice a massive figure. This one stands at about 10 feet tall. But unlike the first VIP that you saw, is not lean and thin. He is massive. You could very easily mistake him for like you could very easily mistake him for a what are they? For like God, why can't I think of the? You could very easily mistake him for an Amalja for his size, except that he's very clearly humanoid. Dark green armor with black, sort of like a black skin tight suit underneath it, covering all potential aspects of flesh, wearing a horned helmet with gold tipped horns on it, and carrying 2 massive Magitech mauls of some kind. Just one over his shoulder and the other just sort of hanging by his side. And he's just walking behind the group of you. Seems to be the rear guard. And the caravan takes off. Go ahead.
Easy. Like I said.
Yeah, they didn't even want to talk to us. It's fine.
Mikoko just tugs down the brim of her hat further and ignores them both.
Mikoko, make a history check for me with advantage.
All right.
Actually, no. Make that an insight check. Sorry, insight check with advantage.
Oh, yes. Insight is slightly better. I can re-roll
yeah,
that, right?
just re-roll. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Yeah, 18.
It does strike you suddenly as you pull down the brim of your hat. You are dressed to the nines, like a red mage.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Distinctly Alamegan thing.
Mm-hmm. Not a lot I can do to fix that. Now that we're underway.
But yeah. You head out. The caravan leaves the southern gate, heading into the Giza Plains, and immediately sort of like turns and begins heading towards the greener lands. Seems like they're going to curve south around the Ester Sands in order to avoid the more rough terrain of the desert, trying to stick to the wastelands and grasslands of the southern portion of Dalmasca in order to get might take a little bit it's a little bit less of a direct route, but it also means that it's more comfortable walking and riding ground.
It's true. We're going to avoid that swamp, too.
So, the journey begins.
Well, we don't really have a choice.
The journey begins. The first day. Is there anything any of you are doing?
Do I catch the names? Do I catch the names of these two VIPs at any point?
Make an investigation check. Are you trying to do it subtly or unsubtly?
I am definitely not trying to strike conversation with anyone. I'm just trying to see if trying to hear if someone says their names at any point.
Investigation with disadvantage. Disadvantage means that if you fail horribly, you won't fuck up. But
10.
10. You do catch a little bit of the conversation coming from the second truck. Just because the soldiers are not particularly quiet, they don't give a shit. You do get Malodvar and Tolamano.
All right. He just sort of keeps that tucked away. Legate. There's a tribunus, and I can't remember the mal prefix.
Prefectus. Let's see.
Prefectus, Medicor. I have field medic. Okay.
Well,
or engineer.
Specifically,
commander of either medics or engineers.
Yeah. Like commander level medic or engineer.
Yeah.
Not just a field medic or an engineer. They're like head scientists for legions. Tend to be like R&D level.
And then a tribunus. So as Faust is walking next to me, Coco will just very quietly. We're guiding a tribunus and a prefectus. This will be interesting.
That's certainly one way to think of it. I'm not exactly subtle.
At the very least, there are many Alamegans who serve in the Empire.
I doubt any of them would have been allowed to take the red.
Well, you're far enough away from Alamigo that no one would think that you were fighting for your homeland.
Give it time.
That's the way of that is the way of the Empire. When you recruit, you send the recruits far away from home, so that they're fighting those they don't know, and they're fighting and they're not able to fight for their home. No temptation of desertion that way.
Well, that's horrifying.
As you march, or as you walk, you're walking for most of the day. So there's plenty of time for any conversations that you want to have. But throughout the day, you all do notice that the large one in the back never seems to be tired. Just keeps the same flat gait the entire time.
Just as we're walking, anytime I see a rock that would fit my sling, I just pick it up and add it to the bag.
Oh yeah, easily enough. By the end of the day, we'll say you've gathered. How many rocks? At what point would you stop?
I'll stop at 30.
By the end of the day, you have gathered definitely 30 rocks.
All right.
I was gonna say, like, I could give you a number. When would you stop, though?
Yeah.
I need 200 stones. Yeah. Any other conversations or anything else that y'all are doing on the first day while you're walking?
I'll give it more than a day before I fuck something up.
Come on.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and make friends with the other people that we're guarding with.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's what, 5 more of them?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the big guy.
Oh yeah, big guy.
Are you trying to make friends with the big guy, or just the 5 people that are walking with you?
Well, he's guarding too.
All right.
As everyone just silently face palms, I imagine.
Nope.
No, I'm interested in big guy.
So as you're sort of moving around and walking, the people that you are walking with, you are. Let's see. There are 3 of them are just like they're basically they're semi-professional guards. They guard, they've guarded various establishments in the city, and they really wanted to just sort of get out. One of them was a guard for the Cartographers Guild in the city, and they really just wanted to, stop looking at the world on a map. And this was this was the first caravan gig that they were able to acquire. Mechanically, these are guards. The other 2, you do find one of them hails from Ul'dah, and is a pugilist. They remember the Pugilist Guild. They're basically out here. They heard tales of people that were really, really good at fighting out here, and they wanted to come out and bruise their knuckles against them, and have mostly been disappointed that most of the people that are really good at fighting are Garleans, and they don't want to bruise their knuckles against them.
Have they heard of me?
Roll me a D100.
It's an 84.
If you ask if they've heard of Rowena, they go. This is a female pugilist. Yeah. Oh, you mean the lady that has the shop in Mordona? Yeah, no. She's got flyers up all over about her emporium and all the weird and interesting things that she buys and sells. She seems like quite a businesswoman. Love to meet her.
Well,
I forgot that was a name that a character actually had.
The 50.
Well,
the D100 is basically whether or not they knew you or the other Rowena.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I also heard of another one, dancer of some repute.
She looks sort of like looks. She like gets that look on on a person's face that they get when they're like trying really hard to think of someone. No, never heard of a dancer named Rowena. It'd be a bit of an interesting thing, though, wouldn't it? You know, two Rowenas, one's a dancer, one's a businesswoman. I wonder if they know each other.
Yes, I wonder. Next person just totally going to blank that. Totally going to blank her out for like the rest of the trip.
Yeah, and the other is an archer set out from Gridania, from the Archers Guild. Mostly they're just traveling, trying to see the world. As to the big guy, go ahead.
What an eclectic bunch! I'm sure we'll all grow to learn and love, and just really get along with for the hours and sessions ahead.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I look forward to getting to know how they make their maps and why they chose what they did and
their dreams
why
for the
this...
future, and their extended family.
Also, maybe their name.
Speaking of maps, we should probably be on the world map, I guess, because we're out of the city.
Yeah.
Unless it's just a very long walk down the
very
the
long walk down out of the south gate. You spent all day walking through the south gate.
Can you
the
believe
first
that
day
big
you
guy...
reach the gate.
As to the big guy in the back, you try to. How do you try to start any conversation with him?
Very generic small talk at first.
What's the first thing you try to say to him?
So, out here for adventure?
No response.
Those very impressive equipment that you have there. Any information about that?
No response.
I'm just going to keep trying like all the little bits and pieces I can think of.
Yeah, make an insight check.
It's 16.
He's not responding to you because he doesn't care or interest or anything like that. It's almost like he's not hearing you, or like he only hears specific things.
I'm definitely going to start talking a bit louder and keep persisting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Just because this is interesting.
Can I identify a hypertuned, or is that not something I'd be familiar with?
It's not something you'd be familiar with, no. You're not a member of that particular legion.
Yeah.
You can make me an insight check as well, though, Faust, because there's something you might be able to determine about this if you're paying attention to this conversation that's happening.
Probably. Not that my insight's all that great. 4.
You're not surprised anybody wouldn't talk to Rowena. As you talk, as you sort of like try to like go along the dialogue chain of small talk, Rowena, at one point it might not even have been like in the word that you meant it, but you say the word rank, or the word rank is heard from you.
Yeah, probably in reference to someone's bathing habits, but yes.
Yeah. And like almost instinctively after hearing that word, there's just this deep, slightly modulated voice that comes out of them that just says, Ulrich Pirdincht. And nothing else.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Ulrich.
No response.
I think I'm satisfied for now. I got something out of him.
you notice as well that the sort of the skin suit that he's wearing and the gauntlets that he's wearing on the right arm don't seem to fit quite as well as the one on the left arm.
Does that sort of mean anything to me rather than just, oh, it's a bit of a mismatch?
Give me a perception check. Or a medicine check, one of the two. So perception. I'll let you decide now if you wanted to, if you would have wanted to roll a medicine check instead.
Nah.
All right. With a 10, it doesn't mean anything specific to you. There's just something off about his right arm. You can't quite. You can tell it's off, but you can't tell why it's off.
Fair enough.
And yeah, basically nothing else you say gets any reaction out of him. Unless you say rank again, in which case you get his name again.
I think I do say it again just to make sure that that's how it worked. But yeah, they're not satisfied.
Yeah, so one more time. Ulrich Perdincht. Which the rest of you also hear, because he's not particularly quiet about it.
But that's basically all I had planned for the day.
All right. Anything else from anyone else?
Faust will, in conversation with Mikoko, I doubt that either Blount or Rowena remember the assumed name that I should be going by, so we'll see whether or not it's even possible to go up to use it. But if it does come up and potentially stick, remember that it is Furiel Pierre de Cartus, a former Decurio.
Right. Understood.
Retired and now working as a mercenary to keep myself sharp.
Do you think I should find another name for me as well?
I don't know that your name would be as resonant out here as it would be in Eorzea. It may not be necessary, but my true name carries my rank, which would be an immediate indicator of concern.
Right. Yes.
There is no such thing as a retired tribunus.
I will keep that in mind, Furiel.
If we're lucky and Rowena botches it and uses my real name, I can just replace my title with Pierre rather than Toll. But we'll see if it can work.
I'll be honest, I don't think she remembers anything beyond the first name. Or cares.
All right. So the first day ends with a little bit later than the rest of you would have liked. You end up walking a couple of hours after you would normally have stopped. But eventually, the caravan stops.
Closer to what I'm used to.
As indicated by the VIP vehicle stopping. And they don't send out any message. They just stop. And the truck behind them stops. And eventually the Chocobo caravan realizes that they've stopped and stops as well. The Chocobos seem to be a little tired. Like they're panting more than you're used to seeing Chocobos pant. Several of the guards with you are, like, you can tell, like, particularly the 3 guards, they have acquired a level of exhaustion over this march. The other 2 are a little bit better off, and then the group of you are obviously fine at the moment. Ulrich doesn't seem to have been bothered at all, as he just sort of over to the central VIP, the main VIP vehicle, puts those two large mauls down and just sort of stands there keeping watch. So, how are you deciding to put up camp?
Deciding?
Yeah.
I mean, deciding.
You watch as inevitable erosion just sort of like pulls a string, and the chocobo, like the driver's cab of the chocobo caravan, just has some panels drop down to provide him with a sort of a small room where he basically is going to sleep in his seat. The other guards, the other like walking guards, seem to all begin laying out bedrolls and just sort of like picking a spot near the chocobo caravan to set up. The two Magitech trucks just lower down to the ground and nobody comes out of them. And Ulrich stands next to the one. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I'll shove my lance in the ground, drape my rain poncho over the top, and spread it out like a tent.
All right. You have a half tent poncho.
How's the weather?
Dry.
Cool. I pull out my bedroll.
Yeah, I mean, I have an explorer's pack I'll be hanging out inside my poncho tent, but yeah.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, I don't have a tent, so I'm just gonna lay out my bedroll and start using the knife to cook up for anybody that wants any, the last 4 pounds of fish meat before it goes bad, because it's not gonna last the whole trip.
The nice thing about the fish when it gets this old is it develops a certain aged flavor. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. Yes, Faust will partake of the last of the fish as well.
I think between all of us, 4 pounds gone.
Yeah.
Do you feed any? Do you feed any to the other guards?
If they come over and grab some, yeah.
Yeah, like if you
You're more
offer,
than welcome to.
offer, they will. They're not going to like impose, but
Yeah. I'll see if they want some strips.
yeah, they will. they will
Yeah,
take.
I'll introduce myself and hand them a slice.
You notice that the alpha fish does like energize them to a point where they lose the level of exhaustion. It doesn't give them the bravery effect like it gives you guys, but it definitely helps them. You get hang on. The guards are in sequence.
Yes.
Wowo Kipe Pupu Kipe. A Lalafell.
That's a Lalafell, yeah.
Sorry, once more.
Wowo,
Yeah.
Wowo Kipe.
One more again?
Wowo Kipe Pupu Kipe.
Was that the pugilist?
No, that's one of the guards.
From the southern Pupu Kipes. Yeah, of course.
There is Davor Stanash, who is a Hrothgar. And there is Ulrich, no last name, who is a Hjör.
Von Liechtenstein.
He's a Midlander here.
Are they the big ones? The Midlanders?
No, the Highlanders are the big ones.
Davor Stanash has that certain panache.
Does he also have the curl mustache?
The Davor?
Yeah.
Yes, he also has the upward curl mustache.
Well, because curls, like the big cats in a setting, have like tentacles that like stretch off of their faces, and for some reason, a lot of Hrothgar have those same things as a mustache.
Yeah. Jorah Savage is the pugilist. She is a Highlander here.
Oh, that too.
So she is, yeah, like comparing her to Rowena, she's about
Hugelish.
2 feet taller than Rowena and about 200 pounds more muscle. Just to compare a Highlander to a Midlander.
Which one of these was the map maker?
That would be Wowokipe Pupukipe.
Thank you.
The one that worked, that was a guard for the Cartographers Guild.
How does Ulrich set up for the night?
And I've got one more name to give you. Hang on.
Ah,
That's right.
And
The archer is left, correct?
yeah, the archer,
Yeah.
who is Affine Pucard, an Elizin. Now I have to make minis for all of them because I've given them names.
you've adopted them. You love them.
Anyone who eats my fish has a name, damn it.
You're
I
not.
would have let you off, dash you.
I was like, you're not the one cooking it. Ulrich stands there. He just stands back to the VIP truck with his mauls in front of him.
He's wielding one maul in each hand.
He's got two large. They're like the mauls are. They're you would if it wasn't for the size you'd call them maces, because they're these large round like metal heads, but they've also got these like indented spikes all over them that seem to be part of some sort of interior mechanism. That they seem to be like connected to something on the inside of them.
I identify a Garlean gun weapon when I see one.
Make a Tinker's tool. Is it Tinker's tools or Smith tools? The ones you got.
I think mine is Smith's tools.
Make a Smith's tools.
That would
check
suck if
with intelligence.
every
have both,
spike in the
actually,
Morning
but-
Star,
Either one, yeah.
every spike with a morning inside that or on that Morning Star is just a piece of ammunition waiting to get launched into the body of the unfortunate person it connects
I
with.
can't roll well
An
for
8.
some reason.
It's definitely a Garlean gun weapon. You don't necessarily know what kind of gun weapon it is. It's definitely not one that you've seen before.
But it's a gun weapon, which is just sort of how the Garleans outfit their important people is with gun weapons.
yes.
So you've got Ulrich and Ulrich.
Yeah.
No, Ulrich and Ulrich.
Oh,
Yeah,
so sorry.
That's what I said.
Ulrich and
Ulrich and Ulrich.
Ulrich.
Yeah. So yeah, how's Ulrich setting up for the night?
Ulrich has a bedroll. Ulrich is standing
Big bedroll.
by the truck.
Was kind of hoping I had a 10. Oh well.
You're gonna want to spell that name so that anyone can try and see the difference.
One of them starred in A Knight's Tale. The other one didn't.
Yeah, Ulrich and Ulrich. That's what I said.
Ulrich Peter Dinched.
Also,
Ulrich.
it's funny when you say the word rank, he tells you his name.
That's because his rank is in his name.
Yep, that's how Gallian names work.
I wonder what happens when you say name.
Get the same thing, probably.
No, he didn't say anything to the name. The only thing he responded to was rank.
Ooh. Well,
Yeah, I guess
Watches.
I'll just get in the bedroll and all as well. My own, not.
What was that, Cody?
Was saying in character, watches. Should we talk to the other guards?
Oh, yes, we are the guards, huh? Let me
Yeah.
talk to the caravan master, see if he has anything set up, and then I'll let you know. I'll head over to inevitable erosion. Is there a watch list already set, or a rota somewhere, or we just kind of left to our own?
He flips the flap up and leans over. I mean, well, you're the guards.
Well, yeah, but you're the caravan master, so
In this particular case, as far as they're concerned, caravan master just means the person that's paying y'all and driving this particular caravan. So, make up your own watch. I mean, if we die, you don't get paid, so I figured that's incentive enough, right?
Well, yeah. Can I borrow a piece of paper?
Sure. Reaches into a bag that he has and pulls out a sheaf of paper. Here, take a few.
Thank you. And do you have maybe a pen or something to write with?
Got some charcoal.
That'll work.
And just take a charcoal.
Work. All right.
You have a desk.
Well,
you have a writing desk, just like a portable writing desk.
Use the back of the caravan for that.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll go draft up a thing. What time are we leaving tomorrow?
Whenever the fuck they get up.
Thank you, O wise and benevolent caravan master who knows so much.
He just grins.
And I bow obsequiously and I walk away.
And lets the flap fall back down.
That paper and charcoal was not for anything we're doing. I just never got paper. So he's gonna tuck that in his bag. And
you have 4 pieces of paper and a bit of charcoal.
All right, everyone, gather around. We're gonna have to drop watches. And I'll call the other guards up.
Yeah, they'll come over.
We can. All right, they're gonna leave probably at the ass end of dawn, or maybe later. I don't know. Has anyone made this run before? Do you know? Does anyone know when they get up?
Do I know how early a Garlean legionnaire is probably going to end up getting up?
Whatever the fuck
Probably
they feel
before
like.
the sun comes up.
Particularly when it comes to a mile, there's no telling.
Oh yeah, the fucking medic is gonna get up when he feels like it.
They are all their own individual. That particular branch of the Garlean military is far more technology than military. It's like trying to.
Yeah, they don't have the same kind of regimentation.
It's to borrow a 40k terminology. It's like trying to determine the schedule of the Mechanicus based off the schedule of an Adeptus.
Yeah.
They're 2 completely different beings with completely different priorities.
Yeah. But the Tribunus might kick his ass out of bed. Do I know how often? I mean, I used to be a Tribunus. Do I know the schedule?
Based on the way they're moving, you're pretty certain the Tribunus is subordinate to the Mal.
To the Praetorius.
To the Praetorius in this particular case. Or Prefectus.
Prefectus. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do know that in it varies from legion to legion, but like the total
in any legion, when there are several tribunuses, they have sort of a rank system between them. Yeah.
Yeah, and the the specialists, the specialist commanders tend to be of not quite the level of the legatus, but on par with, if not slightly ahead of a tribunus.
Yeah, they're sort of a lateral move from a tribunus, and like depending on the rank of the tribunus, they're competing authority.
And in this place, like Tolemano is probably like if Tolemano is Siegfried's like right hand man, then that means that Maladvar is important enough to have the the tribunus as their guard, as their personal guard.
Yeah.
So,
whereas like in the case of me or now Nero, you tell a Mal tries to tell one of us what to do, and it's just sort of a fuck off.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because we were both the first tribunus.
Yeah. Yeah, you also don't know like what tribunus Tolemano is, so.
Yeah, he could be like just like the last of the tribunuses as far as they're concerned. But
yeah, there's also like the 14th Legion also didn't place a particularly high priority on their Magitech division, so.
Yeah. I mean, they did, but only insofar as the fact that Nero was there to get a weapon running.
Like Nero was the head of the Magitech, and he was the tribunus. Like that gives you the idea. They might not have had someone with the title of Mal in the Legion.
Yeah. But he'll point out the Prefectus is unlikely to keep to a standard military schedule. They'll be getting up whenever they feel like it, and the Tribunus is likely following their orders in this case.
All right, so we're going to do the standard 2-hour watch. There's 10 of us, so we'll just run it in cycles until we go again. Everyone buddy up, find a buddy, and it'll be 2 people per watch, 2 hours a watch, and then you wake the people after. Deal?
Looking expectantly at the other guards.
Rowena in the background, just sort of settling in.
Well, Mikoko deliberately marches over to stand next to Faust.
Yeah, the other guards are perfectly fine with whatever schedule you decide on.
All right. Do we want to split ourselves, as an aside to the rest of us, do we want to split ourselves up with these other people, or do we want to let them have a watch on their own?
Please let them have a watch on their own. I beg you.
I don't know.
That sounds like a bad idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I trust John implicitly.
I'm
Judging by that laugh, that sounds like a mistake.
I'm going to point at the map maker Lalafell and go, "You're with me, buddy? Buddy?"
Sure.
Good enough. We'll take first watch.
Oh, I know exactly how this is going to pan out, and I'm all for it.
Are you?
I mean, in character, I'm not, but as a player, it's like, oh yeah, bring it.
Yeah. Do I have a second watch?
I'll take the second watch.
Got it, buddy?
Rowena.
How about the
Already getting ready to set one of them up with NPC guards only. It's gonna be great.
Do I have a third?
Wait, sorry.
Still
what?
awake? Yeah, that's what I was.
That's why you're watching with
2 hours. Have a good nap.
Oh, okay. Good night.
Do I have a third?
I'll take the third watch with Alphine.
Okay. Fourth.
Jorah just reaches out and grabs the Hrothgar and yanks him forward. We'll take it. The Hrothgar's.
That's honestly what I
Okay.
wanted for the NPC watch. I wanted Jorah and Davor on the NPC watch.
I was expecting someone to force Jorah with me.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's where I was going. But all right. And then fifth leaves you two. I assume you're okay with each other.
I'll take fifth. Yep. All right.
I mean, unless you guys would rather have Jorah with one of the others. I forgot that
if-
there was
I mean-
another one.
I mean, I could take fourth with Jorah.
And leave fifth with Ulrich and Davor.
Wait, which one's Faust on?
Faust is on
Alpine.
third with Alphine.
Third with Alphine. That's right. Yeah.
Because I feel like the archer will augment the fact that I've got a 0 perception.
Probably.
Yeah.
I can take fifth, and I'm not fussed about who it's with.
Who's yeah, no, I'll let Rowena get extra sleep.
So if you take fifth, if Jorah and Davor take fourth, you can take fifth with Alric.
Alric.
Yep, that works.
Or you could take fifth with Wowo Kipe, Pubu Kipe if Blount doesn't want to deal with that. But I mean, I feel like Blount, Tofskifson, and Wowo Kipe, Pubu Kipe really want to, hang out.
Yeah, I would not want to deprive the good Sir Tofskifson of that.
The good Sir Tough Gibson.
That's my King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard cover band.
Wowo Kipe, Pubu Kipe, and Tofskifson.
Yeah.
Oh, their first album was better.
Yeah,
It's the
but
name of their debut album.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll swap and let Jorah and Rowena have a watch.
All right. So you're gonna be with Davor.
Yeah, I'll be with Davor.
All right.
Jorah looks over at
Lizard Man
Rowena.
with Catman.
Like Jorah looks over at Rowena and gives you a big toothy grin and a thumbs up. All right, then you're with me.
I'm like already on my way to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And with that, I will put some water in the thermos and make it hot. Start walking around.
I have now created individual NPC tokens for those 5, so that when I need to kill them, I will have personalized ones.
Uh-huh.
That you can delete in front of our faces.
Yeah.
It's
You
our fault
did
for
this.
feeding
Delete. All right. First
Can I
watch.
keep him?
First watch. Wowo Kipe, Pubu Kipe, and Blount Tofskifson.
Yep. We're walking around. I explained to Wikipe the importance of the thermos.
Oh yeah. Magic, huh?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's not just magic. It's a whole sense of like, if you're getting a little bored or you're not able to stay awake, you can drink some cold water and really kind of shock your system going.
Yeah, no,
It really does help.
I get it. Yeah. We should probably keep a watch out though, shouldn't we?
Oh no, we're absolutely watching
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
We're walking around this whole time.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and.
You want to do opposite circles? Opposite circles are fun, but like I like walking same circle, just like different timing.
But if we do opposite circles, then we get to see each other again every time we cross paths. It's like a little.
Yeah, we have to see each other twice.
Yeah, but it's like
I
a
don't
little.
know.
It's like a little surprise meeting.
All right.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you around this time around. What was that? Saw you over there.
Oh, good. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you
Fancy
again.
meeting you.
Fancy
again.
meeting you here. Yeah. All right, so give me a perception
Of
check.
course.
One of these? One of these?
So you got a 5 and he got a 13. Someone go ahead and roll me a D100.
Okay.
Ooh, it's a race.
Ooh.
Oh,
All right.
I don't know.
All right.
that could be good.
That's how much of your body is missing when you wake up.
So,
Mm.
the first watch passes uneventfully, except for Blount and will keep a constantly going, oh, I'm surprised running you over here again. Every time they cross paths.
Thermos? Would you like a thermos?
And passing the thermos back and forth.
So it only ever stays on the one side, one half of the
Yeah.
loop.
It constantly is staying on one half of the loop. But the first watch passes fairly uneventfully.
Cool.
So
I'll
who are we waking up for the
go,
second one?
And Jorah and Rowena. You get Jorah, I will nudge Rowena. And I will go and try and, as nicely as possible, wake Rowena. But I'm not taking no for an answer here. You're gonna get woken up. We have the thermos, remember? Like, I can just... Water is an option here. I'm trying to be nice. But I'm tired now.
And so am I. Go away.
Yeah, but it's your turn. No, it's your turn. Come on.
Ah.
Come on. You're gonna let the pugilist show you up, huh?
If I stay asleep, she gets what's coming to her.
No, if you stay asleep, she makes fun of you for the rest of this trip. And everyone believes her.
Behind you, Blount, there is just the sound of spinning activity as Jorah begins her daily exercises, which is basically a gymnastics routine in the background.
Jesus Christ, would she ever... Alright, look, I get it. That's annoying. I've met some gymnasts in my time, but you only have to... You can be on the opposite side of the camp from her.
Oh, look at that. Her form is rubbish.
No, it is bad.
So with a 17, her form is perfect. What are you talking about?
Her form is bad, and you know it.
Oh, all right, you go. I'll get this.
All right, here you go. Have the thermos.
Why? It's yours.
No, it's for watch. If you get tired, you drink cold water or hot water. It's nice. Pass it on to Faust and Aphine.
Afien.
A what now?
Afien.
There's only one vowel in there.
Yeah.
Aphine.
Afien.
Sir, there are three vowels there.
I was going to say, would you like to recount that, Sam?
A-I-E.
I think he was talking about the middle part.
There's only one I, and you want it to do the work of like three vowels.
It's French. What can I say?
The French would have 12 vowels and only pronounce 3. Don't talk to me about French.
I was going to say,
Wazoo.
So what it is Welsh.
Oh, yeah.
And
Anyway.
if there's one thing I've learned about Welsh, it's that you don't question it.
No.
You just chew your tongue, and whatever comes out, that's the word.
Wonderful people, the Welsh. They have a really good... have you seen that skill they do? Padlock folding? Padlockigami, I think they call it.
So, Rowena, are you taking your watch with Jorah or in spite of Jorah?
Yeah, I'm going to actually do some exercises of my own. See if I can almost turn it into a competition.
Okay.
This is what draws the monsters in. Two people furiously exercising at each other.
Yes. Punching near and around.
It's an unusual flex.
Oh, but it is a flex.
Interestingly, you and her have the same acrobatics check. You both have a +5.
Yeah, but it takes skill to use it properly.
No, that's two in a row.
Damn.
She got a 10 and a 12 there. So the two of you are basically having a dance-off. You are winning, for what it's worth. Hers mostly seems to be some combination of like capoeira and Muay Thai,
Mm-hmm.
whereas yours is actually dancing. Go ahead and also give me a perception check with disadvantage, since both of you are dance-offing at each other.
Yep.
Hey.
Wow. Somebody is more focused on winning.
Perfect.
Oh boy.
I got us into this mess, and I'll get us thrown out of this mess.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean,
I was joking about us never being seen again.
Faust was worried about guarding some Garlean VIPs, and here's the perfect solution. Now we won't have to.
Someone need to roll another D100.
No. So the two of you are too focused on dancing at each other to notice the giant ants. Fortunately, there's another person on watch that wasn't. And the two of you are suddenly interrupted from your dance by the sound of an explosion that wakes the rest of you up as well.
As
And-
Ulrich does his job.
And the sight of several burnt ant carcasses flying past you into the distance. As Ulrich is sort of standing off on one side with these two massive, what you now realize are bomb mauls.
Was that a fault?
Jorah with a sweat, it's like a sort of sheen of sweat on her body. It's like, what?
Well, you started it.
I started doing exercises, then you started dancing at me, and I couldn't say no.
Well, we're supposed to be on watch.
So why
What
were you
are
dancing at
thinking?
me?
I was stretching.
That was a. You don't stretch from like one side of the camp to the other on your toes.
Well, maybe you don't.
You're all awake for
It's
this.
just-
Anyone else off?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not. It's so
As
good.
Faust is standing up, correcting the helmet on his head that he had been using as sort of like just like a mask to hide his face while he's asleep. Okay. What are we killing now? And is
I
it
think we're
Rowena?
good.
No, I think he killed it. Nora says, pointing at Ulrich, who's back to leaning against the truck.
Mikoko just groans, flops back down in her bedroll, and pulls her hat over her face.
Good. Faust does the same.
I kind of do that thing where you stay sitting up for a minute and kind of just like smack my lips, yawn, reach over, grab a bit of rations, take a bite, and then I lay back down.
And as the watch ends, other than that, mostly uneventfully, the percentage for the random encounter has already been rolled. It wasn't on this. It wasn't on this watch, but I had to avoid the natural one somehow. But
I go to put the thermos down next to Faust, who's taking the next watch, and leaning back as far as I can, sort of give him a bit of a kick to wake him up, and then try to run away, like so that I'm nowhere near him when he wakes up.
You run away and there's just a clicking noise and you look back and the gunblade is just aimed at you. It doesn't have to be near you.
Well, yes, but I think I'm more worried about you.
He gets himself up, grabs the thermos.
Effien is
Assuming-
already awake.
Yeah, okay.
She's actually sitting on top of the Chocobo caravan, just getting a good vantage point.
He'll stand on the back of the caravan so that he can get not as high because he doesn't feel like climbing all the way up on top, but he'll get the vantage point that being stood on the back provides.
She was sleeping on the ground too. It's impressive that she got up there that quickly.
Yeah.
She looks down.
He'll take advantage and patrol a little bit, but
yeah, she doesn't seem to be inclined to patrol, but she will stay at her perch. Go ahead and give me perception checks.
That's better.
The joys of a misclick. Oh, it's the wrong fucking
Choice. What? Where was the misclick?
He accidentally closed the game.
I closed Roll20 by accident. Give me 1 second. There we go.
Nice.
I just have to get everything to load.
Good.
The two of us are actually paying attention.
Yeah. She gets advantage because she's at Ellison. It's about halfway through your watch when Affian lets out a sharp whistle to draw your attention.
I turn and look.
She sort of stands up and is pointing to the south of where you're at.
I look in that direction.
Ulrich has also picked up his mauls and is looking in that direction. You see. Where is it? Hang on. Yeah, you see the ground at a certain distance out is sort of digging itself up in multiple spots. As popping out of the ground are several gigantic ants that seem to be coming to find what killed some of their scouts earlier. As they...
here's the main force.
This swarm of ants, each of which is about as big as you, if not bigger, just begin to pile out of the ground to the south.
I shoot the lead one as a way to A, initiate combat, and B, wake everyone up.
As you go click and ready your gunblade to fire, and Ulrich readies his maces, his mauls, that's where we're going to end for the week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.